everyone, this is Jurgita with Magic Pond Crafts, and happy new year. Happy 2020, which is, as you can see, a rat year. So I wish you all the best in this year. May this year will be much healthier and luckier, and overall wishes come true to you in regular life and the stitchy world and the crafty world. So I'm now in the new stage on a Facebook magical school. So it's a beach club resort, baby. So though there's no sun outside, I mean no snow outside, there is some sun, so yay, that's good. At least it's not that bad moody kind of time, but still, you know, it's good to think about the beach time after time. So I'm excited. We're finally can kick in on our new assignments, new weekly, monthly, individual homework and group homework assignments and challenges. So I'm excited. Hopefully this year will be even more successful, because last year I joined Slytherin house like only in May. And so yeah, so I'm starting with brand new kind of technique too, not only new pattern of the year. So this is by Rinka Z pattern, which is you're gonna stitch the thing in a like a long way, and then we'll be cut out some pieces, so it's gonna look at first like a bunch of connected long, like a diamonds kind of thing, and then sew it up and it becomes bowl. So you can see like all of the sides of the bowl, what's gonna look like. For example, this red, when it's sewed in, is the one that is on the bottom, and I believe this is the top with all the cheeses. You can kind of see pieces of cheese. So there are some instructions, and somebody did a video how to do it. I believe it's in the Russian language, but something new. So this is gonna be one of my homework parts, and read it or stitch it also, this works. So for the week 1 homework, we just have to, since it's not a full week, we have to stitch only 200 stitches for something that you had to pick a character that the one of the whips would work for, and I picked Wayne, which is saying Imagineer and things outside the box. So I believe this you know, circle design that is long and becomes a circle, I think it's totally out of the box. It's on the circle even as a shape. So something totally different thinking, and that's all I'm gonna do. So let's get started. And good morning on the January 2nd. Well, it's closer to afternoon by the time we went for a walk with dog and had breakfast and little bit things around the house. So yesterday was fairly crazy, and all of the resorts in magical school to open up a ticket and transportation places, so it can everybody can travel to different areas after that. And of course there was a weekly homework posted, monthly, and all the extra stitches. So I did this one for my weekly homework, which is just a shorter week because we started on a Wednesday versus Monday, and it needed 200 stitches for like introduction for one of the characters, and I did that for thinking character that thinks outside the box. Plus I also did that for extra stitching one of the words like Cinderella, individual challenge Cinderella, which needed 500 stitches. So you needed to stitch on a mouse or something else. I can't remember now even. So since yesterday was like a relaxing day for everybody in the family, I was able to do all that. So I'll show you how much I've done and see if you can recognize which little rat slash mouse is in this picture. Ta-da! So can you guess which one it is? Oh, let me see if I can zoom out, kind of thing. See the one with the tail sticking out? I think that's the one. And then next to him, I think it's the one second on the left is gonna be there. So put in that for quite a bit, and then it was getting late in the night, and I remembered that I'm doing 12 days of HAED challenge, and I wanted to put in at least 120, and it was very late in the night, so I picked the black color to go fast, and I did actually like 200 stitches, so yay. So you can kind of see it all filled in here. So I'm gonna try to maybe do this first in the morning. I'm using this for my monthly extra stitching that you have to stitch on something with the moon. And if you can see, this is sort of like a Saturn, and it had I think it was like in the picture a couple of different moons, but this looks like a moon to me. In each like a planet usually has something, and this might be not even Earth territory, because Doctor Who like to travel everywhere. So I'm gonna put in a little bit of this, and we'll finish off the monthly extra credit, and we'll see what else I can do for the magical school. I actually calculated like the outrageous, how much it would be daily if you choose Kingdom Keepers or Villains. So Kingdom Keepers is throughout the year total would be stitching 660,040 stitches, and in order to achieve that, every day it would have to be about 1,808 stitches every day. So that's a huge chunk. So pretty much have to just sit at home and stitch all the time. But the Villains, which is total, is 380,945. So every day would be about 1,044 stitches. So even if you do some days a little bit less, and if you have like a free day to stitch, you could technically catch up on that. So I might be trying to go for Villains instead of Kingdom Keepers. Sorry, I had to sneeze and I had to pause. So might be doing that, and there's just so many choices this year to where to stitch an individual. You have all kinds of parks, and you have characters, read it and stitch it. You have book reading that you stitch about the pages, and none other can double dip except Outrageous, which is Villains or Kingdom Keepers. So there's lots of different amazing choices, and sometimes it's a little bit too much, I think, because you want to do all of them, and it's pretty much humanly impossible to do all of them. So all right, I think that's all for now, and I'll just keep stitching. And I need to finish my second part of previous video where I was showing all my leftover whips, because my phone was not able to handle full amount of saving space, so I had to break it down. All right, let's see how much I can do today. And it's towards evening on the 3rd, and as you can see, I've done quite a bit of work on my Space Traveler. There you go. So according to the software accounting, when it shows how much you've done and which day, so first, second, and a little bit of the third day, I did exactly 1,000 of stitches on this piece, and I was lucky that I was having a lot of black in this done, so it helped me to do monorail and ferry that takes people like on the water. So those events just finished closing up, and we got open the main street, so it's like a quick race to reach all those stitches that we need to do minimum to be like I get the badge and stuff. So yeah, so I've done a lot, and I think I might start slowing down. It's always first days of challenges and things like that. We've been waiting for this and prepping for all of this and all those challenges as the extras. I read it and stitch it, and the counting for all the homework parts. So anyway, I've done 1000 in this, and I think I can go just a little bit more before I might pick up like a little bit on the top, because I would have to move then frame a little bit up to finish on the bottom, and I might just do a little bit more. I'm not going like by the pages. Since I have a program, I can just go throughout the pages as much as they want, so I'm not gonna count that, but I've done with this. And also I've done exactly 1000 stitches. When I stopped stitching, it was just perfect, like it's showing exactly 1000 done of the rat/mice ornament, ball ornament. So you can kind of already recognize little mouse in here, you know. There's still gonna be like eyes in here. There's no back stitching done, of course, yet, but those triangles that gonna be connecting, they cannot like extend to next one, because this part is gonna be like cut out, all those triangles to be sewed in. But this is where it ends. Well, I think it's like 1 or 2 more stitches over, but where it's gonna end the left side. So there's gonna be a few more mice, and you can kind of see paws of one with little ears in here and there. So that was exactly 1000 stitches when I stopped those stitches. So that's another 1000 done. So in like 3 days I did 2000 stitches, and yeah, last night I went at, I think at 3 o'clock in the morning. I just couldn't put down my Space Traveler. I was like obsessed with it. And now for the main street, we have to do, if we want to participate in it as an extra, like a group project, we have to do 100 stitches. And I decided to pick another project instead. So this is gonna be Mermaids of the Blue by Mirabilia. And the only thing is left for me on this piece, which I was hoping to finish last year, but like a 3 uncounted 4 new projects, kind of put the, what do you call, stick in the wheel for this. So anyway, it's all the beading is gonna be from this area, well, probably from here too, because it's empty. From this area down, it's gonna be some in here, and then I had to roll up some. I just took a picture of all starting points for all my whips that I'm planning to do. And I have to do the video still of my plans for 2020, and that's those 3 are part of my plans. So it's gonna be a little bit more in it, showing a little bit more progress than I was planning for, but maybe I'll be able to do the video tomorrow. I'm just uploading now second part of my leftover whips from 2019 video, so that should be up anytime soon today. So it's gonna be still dinner time. We went in a doggy park right before now, and it's still cold outside. Ugh. Winter, I don't like the coldness. It could be snow, but I don't like the coldness. So anyway, I think I'm gonna put at least 100 stitches in this, and figured this could also continue as part of my January extra stitching, which is stitching something to do with the hurricanes. And the hurricanes is something with the water, what the water travels through the seas and oceans, and those girls live under the surface, and of course I'm sure they feel it when the hurricane comes, if they're closer to the surface, and she's reaching above there. So I'm gonna try to squeeze this pattern as my part of my homework. And the beading takes a little bit while. I still have not set up my beads yet. I'll show you kind of my mess in here. So I just got recently this bead sorter from one of the Russian stores online, and you put the beads and there is like a lid that you can take it off and close. So I have to sort this out to put it in and start stitching. So we'll see how much I can do. Hopefully not until 3 a.m. anymore. Need some rest, right? But they're all calling to me. So all right, let's get on with it. Good morning on Monday the 6th. Well, not early morning, but still morning. So yep, I've been still working on the past few days on my stitching, and you can see my mouse or rat, one of them, ball grew some more. I did some extra stitches on the to help open Frontierland on Magical School Disney parks. So you can kind of already see the shape of a second mouse head in here with the ears. This guy is getting almost fully done. You can see the ear on another one, and there's a little bit in there, and it's gonna be those triangles going on this way. So I put in a little bit of work in the past few days on this, and then now I'll show you what I've done on my mermaids. And you see I actually moved the frame all the way down. That's where the bottom of the fin is, the tail. And so I've done all that beading that needed to be done and went all the way down here. So the girls are fully covered. There's going to be some beads happening there, and then a bunch of towards the end. So I sort of can see the bottom of the pond, which is literally like here, this sand on the picture. And I had to pull out now those red lines, which I kind of was measuring my frame to even out, so you can kind of see that the print was not even if you try to go from the the highest point. So to make sure, I kind of had to do that on all of the sides. So this is how much I've done with my beading, and again, it's lots of them in one place were piled up. You can hear the noise from the beads, but my majority of the work has been strangely still with Space Traveler, and I'll show you what I've been doing with it. So ta-da! I've been kind of filling in where there's few loose singles or that they had the same color further down. So you can kind of see already the reddish golden colors that's going to be burst in here starting in. And I filled up for different like read it, stitch it things, homework, well, not homework, but the challenge. And we just got a week 2 homework parts to work on, and I started this that needs to be have 200 stitches in black, so 310 on DMC, and I started to fill in. And since I'm kind of have to continue in here with 310, I decided I'm gonna just move the frame down, because the very edge is like all the way here, so we're halfway hidden there. So I'm just gonna move down and gonna finish this column, I think, first, instead of continuing on the top there. So that's what I'm looking forward to, finishing up this part, because I'm almost 70% done with this work. So it's exciting. This is still my obsession so far. And today is a day 12 of the challenge Facebook group, 12 days of HAED. And I've been working on this one, minimum 120 a day. And lots of days where I had way more than that. So I'm gonna just finishing this up, and we'll see what else I'm gonna work on. Well, it's the afternoon on the 9th, and on this dreary, rainy day, I'm back with some updates. So in the past few days I've been working only in those two projects, is this and Mermaids of Deep Blue by Mirabilia. So this has been working well, and you see what should be the whole thing be, and it's still not letting me go, and I'll show you how much I've done. So when you look at the whole picture, you can see the bottom, so it's not that much left, and according to a program I'm already 72.5% in this pattern, and I started New Year with 66.5, I believe. So it's been I've been attacking this project, and sometimes when you listen to Flosstube or some book on audio, it's really taking off a lot. So as you can see, there's a little bit of redness starting here, and it's going to be more spurts to continue. Let's see if I can show you. So this is the red part that I was talking about, the darkened, and there's going to be a little like another group of stars in there, and all that yellow is going to be. So that's exciting, and another excitement I'll show you just in the fragment of a second. And it's the Mermaids, and I actually finished it. So I started end of November 2018 in the airport, and it's all done. So I finished all the beading finally. So yay. It was actually my 2019 Stitch 9 challenge project, but I had a couple unexpected things that I needed to start and finish that year, so this didn't get fully done. So I'm gonna show you a little bit more up close. Lots of like treasures and beads in there. Skin again, I used I did my own conversion with Rainbow Gallery silk threads, 1/1, a full stitch I did, so it looks more delicate. It's still, I try to kind of blend in a little bit more on those shadings, and there's lots of beading, and if you've stitched a lot of beading parts, you know that sometimes you have to kind of forgo some of the parts, beads, skip, to make it like a more even in a row, so it doesn't start bunching up. But there's lots of it done. So I reached the bottom, and I actually signed it sort of like almost invisible in here on a trunk, so I didn't want to like very visible to be, but I like that at least I know the year when it was done, because I'm starting to forget. Like I looked at some things and it's like saying 2017, so it was, wow, really, it's been that year. So anyway, this is exciting, my first finish of the year, and one thing off my whip list to do, and I'll show you what I'm planning to pick up again as my BAP, big project, after I set this aside. And it's my George Washington. So since I finished my Mermaids, I actually had these sidebars, only one set, so I had to kind of move in between the Omanic frames with the sidebars, so I'll have to order another set of sidebars. But anyway, so this is like a start of page 38. That's where I left off last year. So my goal is to finish this row, another full row, and maybe another full row if it's possible. And where I looked, it was 39.6% of the whole thing done. So I'm gonna try to knock down a lot of like group stitching and the possible read and stitch things, or for homework this project. So it's just gonna be grayish, bluish things, no specific items popping out in here. So anyway, this is how much left to finish row 4 out of 10, and that's where I'm gonna start this as beginning of my George project of this year 2020. And good morning on what's the 13th? It's a Monday, the 13th in the morning, and you see how much I've done in the past several days since 9. I'm very happy that in practically almost 2 weeks, well, 13 days, I managed to work only on 5 webs, so I could get the real notch in them. And so that's where I'm gonna start this morning. Is I'm working this towards a Cinderella's castle, another 1,000 to make for Magical School beach resort. So that's all that's left up to like here to finish the 4th row. So according to app, it's 40.6% done of the total thing. So my goal would be like to do another 2 rows. My wish would be to do another whole 2 rows of George this year. So we'll see how much it goes. So since the few days back, last short update, I worked on this and 99. So I brought it down here to show you. So as you can see, I finished all the bottles on the 3rd row. It's all done, and I started on the shelf itself. So it's almost 1/3 of the whole thing is done because it's 9 shelves, and it was. I haven't counted because each bottle is slightly different in the shape. Like this is thicker than this one, so I think like 3.5 or so bottles with a little bit here is like 500 stitches or something like that. So that's where I left off with the 99 after I finished it, and I don't know what I'm gonna pick up next after I do George, because it's a new week in the school, and homework is new, and I still need to would like to do this week one of the extra January stitching thing. And I've watched like tons of dog training videos yesterday to start working heavily on our adopted dog, to kind of, because he ran away from my son while taking him to go to the bathroom. He managed to wriggle out of his harness, so we managed to catch him again, but it was rainy day and it was horrible weather, and luckily he wasn't hit running through the streets. So there's something going on that he likes to exercise a lot, so we need to work on that behavior. And if I want to leave him, he has separation anxiety, so I have to work on that. So if any tips that worked for you besides like watching videos and trying something like that, please share below with me. Do a little bit of stitching and do other stuff around the home. So I don't know how much I'll be able to do that on a George. So I'll try to put a notch, some today and some tomorrow, as much as I can. All right, let's see. Now, good morning on the, what is the 17th, the Friday. So I'm gonna wrap up the first part of January, and what you see is what's left to do on my George 4th row, and just up to this line where you see the line. So I don't know, let's see, 1,500 and let's see, maybe 1,800 stitches left or so. I think it's less than 2,000 to do the 4th row, and it would be done out of 10. So that's exciting. I think when I try to calculate, I'd have to do like 800 something a week or what. And that's one of the projects I worked in the past several days, and I'll show you a second project. But here I want to show you doggy. My pile of whips are there, but like he stretches his legs and stares out the window. See silly goof, right, Hunter? So anyway, you can see what I've been working on, my Space Traveler by Heaven and Earth Designs. So it's practically a tiny bit left and the whole row would be done again. And that shows about 74.4% of total done. So my goal for this year was reach 80. So right now in 17 days, I made like 8%. So it's not bad, really not bad. But there's so many other projects that start to call my name, but it's hard to get away from this one. So I don't know what I'll do. I guess try to put in a little bit here and work on others. So I think that's it. Today is supposed to be like an ice day. So the schools are canceled here in Mid-America, St. Louis, Missouri kind of area. I live in Illinois side, but we kind of always go by St. Louis news stations. So kids are at home, dog is at home, and I hurt my back a little bit yesterday, I think, of putting all the Christmas decorations away. I know, I was trying to enjoy the Christmas tree way too long. So I have to sit still, and I guess I'll do a little bit more stitching, and we'll see what I come up with for the next part of January for you. Sorry. So I think I'm gonna finish with this for you to look at, and I'll see you in the next episode. Don't forget to leave a comment. It's always very nice to read them, and if you haven't subscribed, please click subscribe. Or like, yes, I need more coffee this morning, I think. So till the next time, bye-bye.